Welcome to Codetober day number 6. On yesterday's video, we saw the update function and how to use it with different examples that we saw. We can use it with the field function, with the index function, etc. But we still had to get the values module in order to being able to use it. So for this video, I'm going to show you the update operator, which is different from the update function. In the update operator, just as any other operator, for example, we have if else, we have the prepend, append, and we have the mathematical or logical operators. So just as any other operator that you can just use without having to import a module explicitly, you can just, let me take this example, put it here. So in this example, we have this input, name Ken, last name Shakira, age 30. And let me just move this. So in this example, we have this input. Let me just take this out. All right. So we have this input, name, last name, and age. And then we update the age. So we're saying the update operator, and then we open curly brackets, and we have age. This is just the name of the variable. It can also be a, for example. Case age, or a, the variable at, and then we specify where is this located at. So in this case, inside my input, if you do my input.age, you will get this field. Let me do that for you so you can see what I mean. If I do my input.age, I will get the age 30. So this is exactly the value that we want to update. So if I do a at age.age, and then we say what we want to do, this is the expression we want to do. So we have the a, which is a variable that we set here, plus 1. And now instead of having 30, we have 31. All right, so is there another example? Yes, there's another example. All right, so I take this, I put it here. And now this says, let me take this out a bit. So we have name, last name, age, address, and inside of address, we have street and zip code. So now we want to update, again, the age with age plus 1. So we have 31. And then we do s, which would mean like street, for example, at dot address dot street. So inside of this object dot address dot street, we have first street. And it was Amenabar. So we update Amenabar with first street, and this is how it works. You can do this. Is there any other example? Index selector. Okay. So we can also use indexes, and there are more. Okay, cool. We can also use indexes. So we have the payload. I have to, yes, this, okay. So we have an input here. This is my payload. Okay, so in this payload, we are updating if there is a dot addresses at 0 at the 0 index, because this is now an array. So we update that 0 address with this street and with this zip code. Let me create another one just to show this example. Okay, so now we can see that, let me just take this out. You have here Amenabar and Amenabar 2. So once you do this, if you do dot addresses and then take the 0 position, you will just be updating the address that is in the 0 position. And I can also do this to show you. So if I do payload dot addresses, it will return both addresses, and then I do 0 and it will take just the first one. So this is what we are updating. Now let's see the next example, which is the attribute selector. We have an input, in this case is an XML. Then we take the source, put it here. Let me take this out a bit. Oh, because there's nothing there. Okay, never mind. Yes, so let me just put something here. Is this actually a JSON? Yes, this is a, oh, this output should be an XML. Okay, so this example is wrong. XML. All right, now this works. So payload, and then we update whatever is at .user.@name. So let's take that to see. So you have the payload here, and then if you do .user, yes, if you do .user, you will get the actual value that is inside the payload.user. But then if you do .@name, right, sorry, test at name, then we end up with Leandro, which is what we have inside this attribute. And this is not the value is test. The attribute is Leandro, the name attribute is Leandro. If we were to change this to name3, then this would be name3. This is the attribute. Okay. Oops. All right, so now that we have this, let's go back to here. And this is our function, which is saying if there is a name located at .user.@name or attribute name, then I want to change that to be the upper name. So we used to have Leandro, and now we have Leandro in uppercase, which is what we are updating here. There's also a dynamic selector that you can use. Is this the same input and output? No, this is different. Okay. Input, this is a JSON. And output is a JSON. So in this case, we have a variable called the field name, and the field name is going to be name, which would be this one. So we have the payload, and we are updating at dot, and then whatever the field name is returning. In this case, it's name. If we want to do last name, oh, so this was Ken, and this is Shoki. So if I change this from name to last name, now Ken stays the same, but then the last name is updated to Shoki, and we didn't have to update this function. We just had to update the variable of the name that was changing. That's how you can do a dynamic update. Then we have the conditional update. Okay, in this case, we're using a map because we want to iterate between, inside each of the objects in the array. So we have each user, we're going to update each user, and then we're going to say case name at .name. We have several here. Let me format this. Okay, now we can see we have an array, and then we have 3 objects with name and age. So we're saying name at .name. If name is Ken, then update name ++ Leandro. If name is Tomo, then name ++ Christian. So that's how we end up with Ken, Leandro, and Tomo Christian. if I wanted to change this instead of Tomo, and then I can just take this name, put it here, then this will update this one because we're checking exactly which name we want to update. And if I take off this name and I just leave Christian, then this is going to update to Christian. And that's how you do conditionals. All right, there are two other syntaxes that you can use using the upserting operation with the update operator and the sugar syntax. I'm not gonna go through these just because I already went through a lot. And if your use case requires to use any of the other two, I will be happy to look into it. But for now, let's just leave it like that. This video is already too long. All right, so thank you so much for watching. This is Codetober day 6, if I remember correctly. Thank you so much. Let me know if you want me to check out any specific use cases. And if not, I will just continue doing my thing. All right, thank you so much for watching. See you later. Bye-bye.